Hi team, Candace here with Green Egg Girl Productions. Today I want to talk to you about my vendor interview book. It is officially vendor week in all of the team pages, so I want to share with you my book that I wrote for vendor interviews. So this book is meant to be taken with you on all of your vendor interviews, which we're going to talk about over in the group pages when you officially start getting numbers, setting appointments with your photographer, even with your wedding venue, all of that stuff that you start doing in the first 3 weeks of planning your wedding. And I talk about this too in the I'm Engaged e-course. You really need to be consistent with your vendor interviews. So that means when you sit down with a few photographers, you may interview 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 by the time that you get to your actual dream team, who is what I talk about a lot. Those dream team vendors who make your wedding day so awesome and so on point. And this is the first step to how you start hiring your wedding vendor dream team. And it is a workbook you take with you. So as you walk in, you set an appointment, if it's a coffee shop or if it's at their office or they're coming to your house, have this book ready for you to write into. And what it has in it, there's an intro page. I do kind of a blurb on how to use it, table of contents. There's all the questions. Sorry, it's backwards. And it says how to use it and how to be proactive about it. So let me get to an actual page. Here we go. So this is what it looks like that when you go into your wedding venue interview. So where you want to get married. And it has 2 places. So once you've eliminated your top 2, or you've eliminated everyone else and you're down to your top 2 choices, there is this worksheet here and you write directly in this book. And it has here option 1, option 2, so that you know who you're comparing them against and who they are. So we have top 2 venues and I want to make sure that I'm asking them the exact same questions and writing it side by side. That way, when you get home after your second interview, you can sit and review their answers and compare the pros and cons of them. So the first question is, of course, what is the site fee? And then you can compare the 2 right side by side when you're making your decisions. And I have questions in here just like that for pretty much everyone down to your travel agent for your honeymoon. So here's reception site. Because one of the things that I would always get when couples came into my office, why I wrote this book, is I would ask, who are your vendors? And they say, well, we don't have them all yet. I'm like, well, that's kind of a big deal. You kind of need to get on that. And they would say, well, I just don't know what all the questions are to ask. I'm like, well, I can solve that. And I was printing out these lists over and over again and sending them out with my brides. And honestly, those same lists are now independent worksheets that are still available in my Etsy shop that you can purchase for just $3 each and download them and take them if you need them, if you don't need this entire book. But in my experience, those couples kept coming back. That list you gave us was so great. Do you have another one for the next one? We're meeting with our videographer next week. And I would just keep printing all these pages. And so I was like, finally, I'll just put them all together in this one book. And I wrote it 3 years ago, and it's available on Amazon, in my Etsy shop, and on my blog. And it's available as a complete digital download. So if you don't want the actual book or the hard copy of it, you can just print the pages, open it up, and just read it how you want to. So maybe you don't have some of the vendors, maybe you don't have a videographer, or you don't have a florist. You can just print out the independent pages of this full book that you want to before you go on your wedding interviews. So huge piece of vendor week, huge piece of assembling your dream team. I have more information about that on the blog post, and I'm going to drop a link to this book and all the places that you can access it on the internet, hard copy and digital download. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope this solves a lot of your questions and problems about hiring your wedding vendors.